On a stormy night, an old couple hurriedly walked into a hotel and asked for accommodation for the night. The night shift attendant politely said, "I'm very sorry, but all the rooms are booked today. However, if you don't mind, you can stay in my room. It's quite simple, but it's clean. I have to work the night shift so I can rest in the office and handle some accounting issues." The young man sincerely made this suggestion. The old couple gratefully accepted his offer and apologized for causing any inconvenience to the attendant. The next day, after the rain had cleared up, the old gentleman went to pay the bill. The same attendant was still at the front desk. The attendant smiled warmly and said, "You didn't stay in one of our hotel rooms yesterday, so we won't charge you for it." The old gentleman nodded in approval and said, "You are the kind of employee every hotel owner dreams of having. Maybe I can help you build a hotel someday." The attendant felt flattered but thought the statement was too exaggerated, so he just took it as a joke. 2 years later, the attendant received a registered letter from the old gentleman, mentioning the incident that had occurred on that stormy night. Attached to the letter was an invitation and round-trip tickets to New York, inviting him to visit. At an intersection in Manhattan, the attendant met the old traveler again. The old gentleman pointed to a magnificent new building standing at the intersection and said, "This is the hotel I promised to build for you. I hope you will come and run it for me. Remember? I made that suggestion back then, and I meant it seriously." The attendant was overjoyed, and his speech became stuttered. "Do you have any conditions? Why did you choose me? Who are you really?" "My name is William Astor. I have no conditions. I said it before, you are exactly the kind of employee I've been dreaming of." That building is the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, a symbol of ultimate prestige in New York, and the preferred accommodation for high-level politicians visiting the city. The attendant who took on this job was George Bolt, the man who established the Waldorf Astoria as one of the most charming hotels in the world.
A girl went to her professor and said, "I'm not going to attend this class anymore." The professor, surprised, asked, "Can you tell me why?" The girl replied, "I see people using their phones during class. Some are chatting, others are sleeping, and some even stare at me." The professor was silent for a moment, then said, "Before you make your final decision, could I ask you to do one thing for me?" She agreed. "Sure, what is it?" The professor handed her a glass of water and said, "Walk around the classroom twice with this glass, but make sure not a single drop spills." Carefully, she took the glass and walked around the classroom twice, then returned and said, "I did it." The professor asked her a few questions. "Did you notice anyone texting? Did you see anyone chatting or sleeping?" She answered, "I didn't see anything. I was entirely focused on the glass to make sure I didn't spill any water." The professor then said to her, "When you come to class, focus on the lesson like you focused on that glass of water. That way, you won't be distracted by others' actions or stumble because of them. If we stay focused and steadfast in pursuing our goals, we won't be easily swayed by others' behavior." A young boy sat every day on a bench near the police station. One day, a curious policeman approached him and asked, "Who are you waiting for every day?" The boy replied, "I'm waiting for my dad to come home." From that day forward, the policeman noticed the boy sitting in the same spot daily, waiting until nightfall before leaving. On the second day, the policeman asked again, "When will your dad be back?" The boy smiled faintly and said, "Soon." Days turned into weeks, and as winter arrived, with biting winds and freezing cold, the boy continued to wait faithfully at the same bench. One day, the policeman saw the boy sitting there, tears streaming down his face. Concerned, he approached him and asked, "Are you okay? Do you still believe your dad will come back?" Through his tears, the boy replied, "A year ago, my dad went to the battlefield, and he didn't come back before he left. He promised me he'd return here, so every day, I come here and wait for him. Deep down, I know he's not coming back, but this hope, the hope of seeing him again, gives me the strength to keep going." Sometimes hope, no matter how fragile, is the light that warms the coldest winter and sustains even the most delicate hearts. A timid man was about to embark on a long journey. He did everything possible to prepare for any potential problems he might encounter along the way. He brought a knife to fend off wild animals, a medical kit in case of injury, an axe for chopping wood, a tent, a blanket, pots and pans, and various other items. Finally, he set off, burdened with a pile of things, looking like an immovable heap of junk. When he reached the middle of a rickety wooden bridge, the weight caused the planks to collapse, and he drowned. In his final moments, he regretted not bringing a life jacket. No journey can be fully prepared for, just like life. By the time you're fully prepared, the opportunity might be gone. All we can do is face challenges and solve problems as they come. Every day, a hard-working father handed his son a gold coin, saying, "Take this and save it up diligently." But the son, showing no appreciation, tossed each coin into the river. The father saw this, but remained silent. The son didn't work, relying entirely on his father's support, and lived a carefree life. One day, the father told the neighbors, "If my son comes to you for money, do not give him any." That evening, the father said to his son, "From now on, you must earn your own money." Initially, the son tried asking the neighbors for help, but no one lent him anything. Left with no choice, he decided to find work. He landed a job on a farm, hauling heavy loads under the scorching sun. After a full day of hard labor, he finally earned a single gold coin and returned home. To his surprise, his father said, "Well done, son, now throw that coin into the river." "Absolutely not, Dad," the son exclaimed. "I worked so hard to earn this coin, I can't throw it away." The father smiled knowingly and replied, "Do you understand now? All the coins I gave you before, you tossed away without a thought. Did you ever realize how difficult it was to earn them? Only through personal effort and hard work can we truly learn to value every bit of what we gain."